Right of privacy. Key court cases. Mapp v. Ohio, 1961. A key state incorporation case, Mapp v. Ohio establishes the exclusionary rule for states. The exclusionary rule determines that police may obtain only that evidence available through a legitimate search warrant. Other evidence found at the scene of the crime is not admissible in the trial. It must be excluded. This doctrine has been modified by the plain view doctrine. Many people have been critical of the exclusionary rule, suggesting that it handcuffs the police from obtaining legitimate evidence necessary to prosecute a criminal. Since Mapp v. Ohio, other cases have created further exceptions. In Nix v. Williams, 1984, the court allowed inevitable discovery of tainted evidence, that is, evidence that would have eventually been discovered with a legal warrant. United States v. Leon, 1984, created a good faith doctrine, which stated that if the police obtained essential evidence in good faith and did not violate the spirit and intent of the Fourth Amendment, that evidence would be allowed. Griswold v. Connecticut, 1965. The court struck down a Connecticut law that prohibited the use of contraceptives. It arose after a doctor was arrested for distributing birth control devices. Using the privacy provision of the Fourth Amendment, the court stated that individuals had the right to privacy in the area of sexual relations. Katz v. United States, 1967. Reversing the long-standing Olmstead doctrine, which allowed federal wiretapping to obtain evidence, the Supreme Court outlined stricter criteria for wiretapping in the Katz decision. Congress set down allowable procedures for wiretapping in a criminal bill passed in 1968, which allowed federal and state officials to use the procedure with probable cause. The court and Congress have even set procedures for wiretapping in the case of domestic subversion. Roe v. Wade, 1972. Using the concept of being secure in their persons, the Supreme Court ruled that abortions are constitutionally protected. It set up a trimester system allowing unrestricted abortions in the first trimester, but regulated abortions during the second trimester and allowed the states to ban abortion during the third trimester unless the mother's or baby's life was endangered. This decision has been most controversial and set the stage for a national debate. We will come back to the issue in the next lesson. United States v. Leon, 1984. In this decision, the court created a good faith exception to the exclusionary rule, allowing the introduction of illegally obtained evidence where police can prove that the evidence was obtained without violating the core principles of Mapp v. Ohio. Planned Parenthood v. Casey, 1992. The court upheld a Pennsylvania law requiring minors to wait 24 hours after receiving parental approval before getting an abortion as constitutional. The decision also struck down a provision mandating that women obtain informed spousal consent and upheld in principle Roe v. Wade. Sternberg v. Carhart, 2000. The court ruled that state laws limiting late-term or partial birth abortions were unconstitutional because they violated the principles established by Roe v. Wade. The basic tenets of the Fourth Amendment create procedural rights of the accused. The next three amendments further define procedural due process rights of individuals.